I'm a mother of 4 children, my son and 3 girls. And my oldest girl, Sophia, has Down syndrome. We were able to find out about Sophia having Down syndrome while I was still pregnant with her.
We were mostly worried about trying to figure out if it was a boy or a girl. At the ultrasound, they identified something unusual in her heart, and a few weeks later we found out she had Down syndrome.
And it was a bit of a shocking diagnosis. It was one that was given to us by the doctor in the delivery room in a passing comment. So turns your world upside down immediately.
Our family doctor, he reacted kind of funny. He had a cousin with Down syndrome, but he, when he told us, it was just kind of cut and dried, and then we just left. We were kind of in tears because we didn't know what that would mean.
And when they gave her to me, I just welled up with tears and was so excited because I had seen myself. She looked just like me. And I had completely forgotten that I didn't just give birth to a Down syndrome child. I had given birth to my daughter.
Well, Down syndrome is a chromosomal disorder. It results from an extra copy of chromosome 21.
There are a number of health problems that go along with Down syndrome. There tends to be a higher likelihood of heart defects. There tends to be a lot of hearing problems that go along with Down syndrome.
Daniel was, the day he was scheduled to be released from the hospital, he found out he had a hole in his heart and what was called the AV canal.
There are growth issues associated with Down syndrome, thyroid issues. There's a shorter stature generally associated with Down syndrome.
I'm a nurse, so I knew some of the physical things that might be a problem. But I knew that she'd have a hard time learning, maybe not be able to learn at all.
For the longest time, when parents of individuals with Down syndrome found out about their diagnosis, they were usually told that this was, in a way, a life sentence.
When Brenda was born, and I certainly was too young to remember this, but I remember my parents feeling like the doctor was very insensitive. And my parents, I think, took it as a challenge. Like, how dare you limit my child?
Not every child with Down syndrome has a heart defect, but every child with Down syndrome has learning difficulties at some level.
And if they were to ask, well, how much do we understand about that? The physician would say, not a lot. It's complicated with this 3rd chromosome, and no research had been done.
But we know that's not the case anymore. We know that that's not the complete story.
I have 5 girls. All of them are spunky, including Veronica. She's full of vim and energy.
Mom, are you gonna say this? It's funny. Yeah, I love to dance. I take up on dancing. I have great friends, a partner, Miss Roger, then Tom, and then Richard. So it gave me dizzy from my head.
She can read, she can write, she can do simple math. Probably the same level I am.
She knows so much more than she leads people to believe. When her therapist was asking her if she knew, what color this circle was, and she kept saying, "Sophia, what color is this?" And Sophia would say, "Circle."
It's yellow. Where's the circle?
And I realized that she knows what color it is. She's just trying to find it in her mind.
Daniel is homeschooled. He's very motivated. He's very persistent. And I've noticed when we work around the house or involved in some activity, he wants to help.
He has a lot of hopes and dreams for his future that I would really like to help support him in, and I think that this cognition research is really important because I think it's going to give him the tools he needs to help make his life fuller.
This idea of independence, this idea of opportunities, is something that is completely new. This is not something that existed even 10 years ago.
There are a number of factors that influence this revolution.
12 years ago, the entire human genome was mapped.
And once we understood that chromosome, we were able to understand more about the things that could affect individuals with Down syndrome.
Our current grants support 6 different biomedical institutions, And very important in all the research that's taking place is that they will be clinical trials. And in clinical trials, you get a way to test the efficacy of a potential drug.
When we get these press releases from Johns Hopkins or from Stanford and it shows real promise, that's exciting.
This revolution has the chance to change the way that we view an individual with Down syndrome. No longer do we view them as a diagnosis. We view them as an individual with potential.
We're expecting and hoping for a lot for Veronica. And this research, this medicine, it would make such a tremendous difference. I think it would.
Probably the most important impact of this research is that it gives families hope.
We're seeing these tremendous medical advancements, and what that brings us to now is what can we do for these individuals cognitively to allow them to achieve their own goals, their own dreams, their own hopes. For a parent who wants the most for their children, this is what we want.
All of the things that are in place started from the families and loved ones who came before you. Now
it's our turn.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join the revolution.
Empower
the extraordinary.
Thank you.